At the time of recording this video, there's just 9 days left of the summer transfer window for Wrexham Football Club to get the targets they want through the door, and it's become apparent after the past 2 games of the Championship season that Wrexham still need to do work to get these players in through the door to become a team that is going to compete at the top end of the Championship table. Today I'm going to be taking a look at 3 attacking players that have all been linked with a club that Wrexham have shown interest in to bolster the ranks in the attack. It looks as if we've still got some work to do, and it's a race against time for Wrexham to get these players through the door. We're also going to be taking a look at Ryan Reynolds and McElhenney holding a discussion with manager Phil Parkinson as he outlays what Wrexham Football Club need in the final week and a half of the transfer window to become a top team in the Championship. So before we get going in today's video, if you're looking for the best Wrexham AFC content, it's coming your way on the channel. I say it every video, it's free to do so. We're so close to hitting 30,000 subscribers, so if you're looking for consistent content on the football club that you love, Wrexham AFC, this is your place for it. Without further ado, let's get taking a look at what happened after that 1-1 draw on Saturday. So it has been confirmed that owners Ryan Reynolds and McElhenney, of course, were in attendance for that game against Watford, our first home game of the season. They were both also involved in a discussion at full time with manager Phil Parkinson as he outlaid what Wrexham Football Club need to be a top team in the Championship this season. It was a discussion that involved Phil Parkinson, Ryan Reynolds, McElhenney, the transfer committee, so it was an important discussion, and it was made crystal clear where Wrexham do need improving in, and it was also made crystal clear that Wrexham obviously have targeted some marquee signings in this transfer window, but unfortunately due to there being bigger and better clubs that can offer more ambition and offer more financial packages to those players and agents, it has become hard for Wrexham to get those signings through the door. So we've had to look elsewhere. It's been a tough transfer window for Wrexham because of course the sky's the limit for Wrexham Football Club. We want to get these big and better players into the club to help us just become a Premier League side in the next 2 or 3 years, and it's also become apparent where Phil Parkinson wants recruiting in the next couple of days. So I think it's also important to note Michael Williamson's interview after that game, and he did state that it was a case of Wrexham bringing in quality over quantity in the final few days of the transfer window, and Wrexham have the foundations to build on, which I agree with. I think we've got a very good team. I think we've got a team that's more than capable of being a top half Championship team, probably a top 10 Championship team. Of course, we're going to have injuries here and there. Did we overachieve last season in it being a Championship league where there wasn't that much quality? Potentially, but you're looking at this season, there's some massive clubs that have spent parachute payments on players, and there's a lot better quality in this league for Wrexham to compete with. So in order to compete with those big teams, we have to go into land some marquee signings, which has proved to be difficult from Wrexham, and that's why I completely understand this transfer window hasn't really lived up to the expectation that a lot of fans hoped for. I think the main one being Joe Gelhardt. Of course, that transfer was so close to being completed at Wrexham, and then all of a sudden the club he spent last season on loan at Hull City, who are now in the Premier League, came in and said, look, we want to take you off his hands. And it's hard when you have these clubs that are in a better league, can offer a player better financial packages to get them to the club. So in that sense we can understand it's been frustrating, but Wrexham are doing everything they can to get these players in before the deadline. And following on from those words, he did also state that he believes bringing in an attacking midfielder who will provide better service to Kiefer Moore and Sam Smith, provide better opportunities, more chances created, is a big priority for Wrexham, and we've seen that with the transfer links over the past 24 hours. He also said a wing back is on the radar. Mehmeti of Ipswich is set to sign for Wrexham. A deal in the region of £8 million has been agreed. He's flown over to Wrexham today to complete his medical, so expect Mehmeti to be a Wrexham player, and then Wrexham will target that central attacking midfielder. So let's get taking a look at some of the targets that Wrexham have targeted in that attacking midfield role. There's been 3 names that Wrexham have been linked with on social media over the past 24 hours from respectable sources at the Daily Mail, from Sky Sports, so there's a bit of truth in these. And I think the main one that we're going to be talking about first, and the one that Wrexham are pursuing the hardest, is a player called Mehmeti. Now Mehmeti is of Premier League side Ipswich Town, and he's a player that Wrexham are heavily interested in. Now Mehmeti did play against Wrexham on multiple different occasions last season for Bristol City, for Ipswich Town. Ipswich signed him for £3 million in the January transfer window as they look to strengthen their squad to go up to the Premier League. He went to Ipswich, played a big role in that final half of the season. I think he played 19 games, 3 goals and assists, so he played a role in that promotion to the Premier League. And I think the main thing that Wrexham will be looking at this situation from the outside in is the fact that they only paid £3 million for him, which I think was an absolute steal at the time, because he was an incredible player for Bristol City over the previous 2 or 3 seasons. So Wrexham will be looking at this thinking, if they made a signing for £10 million in January, they'd be looking to recoup at least 75% of that transfer fee. But the fact they paid £3 million and the fact that he's not going to be a part of their plans this season in the Premier League, Wrexham could be looking at this thinking, we could get him for as little as potentially £4.5–5 million, which again would be an excellent bit of business for a player that's in the peak of his career and has produced some incredible numbers in the Championship before. Now, if you are looking at Mehmeti, of course, he is an out-and-out attacking midfielder. He's not played anywhere else. He is that player that plays through the lines, plays centrally, creates those chances, and he enjoyed a really successful campaign in the second tier last year, registering 17 goals and assists for Bristol City and Ipswich Town. Like I said, it doesn't look as if Mehmeti is part of their plans going into the Premier League season after strong recruitment in that forward line. So Wrexham, we should be all over this. As a player, looking at scout reports and looking at the opinions of Ipswich and Bristol City fans, he's said to be very good technically, and his ball carrying ability is the reason why he constantly scores goals, creates chances, registers assists. If we're looking at his personal statistics, they just back that up completely. 61 chances created, 16 of those being big chances, 53 successful dribbles, 185 touches in the opposition box. He's such an attacking minded player who's constantly looking to involve himself in the final third to get that goal, to get that assist. You can guarantee that at this level Mehmeti will register some incredible numbers for you. Mehmeti and Windass in that forward two would be an absolute dream, creating those chances for Sam Smith, for Kiefer Moore that they might not have been having already so far in the first 3 games of the season. That front two of Mehmeti and Josh Windass, who registered 40 plus goal contributions last year between them, would be a dream. So if we are being realistic, that is probably the one that I can see Wrexham pursuing the most, just given the fact that I think it would be an easier deal to negotiate over these two players that we're going to be talking about. But the next name also does play in the Championship, and he goes by the name of Femi Azeez. Now, Azeez is a player that Wrexham are reportedly showing interest in the final few days of the window. In all honesty, this is going to be such a hard one to get across the line. It seems a massive stretch because Azeez was such a key player for Milwall, who was so close to getting promoted to the Premier League last year. Millwall rejected a £20 million package from Ipswich Town in the January transfer window at the end of last season. So if Wrexham are going into this deal, I can't see Millwall looking to accept anything less than £17 million for Azeez, because he's still a key player, he's still part of their plans. Although an exit does look likely, are they going to really want to lose him to a fellow Championship team which they're going to be confident they can finish above this season? I really highly doubt it. I think the numbers that Azeez did put up for Millwall last year really just highlighted the fact that he is ready to go to that next level, and as a player he thrived last season massively, playing in a Millwall side which I think didn't overachieve massively, but I don't think Millwall fans expected this season that Azeez had. Obviously in pre-season he registered 18 goals and assists in the Championship, and like Mehmeti, his individual stats just completely back up the fact that he's one of the best attacking outlets in this division. 67 chances created, 78 successful crosses, 47 successful dribbles, and obviously 18 goals and assists, which if Wrexham are looking at this, and if we want to put our money where our mouth is, Mehmeti and Azeez, 17 goals and assists for Mehmeti, 18 for Azeez, these are the type of players you want to be coming into the Wrexham camp with Championship experience proven at this level. And I think if we are looking at Azeez, and if Wrexham are to go all in to bring Femi Azeez up to North Wales, I hope Wrexham play him where he performs best, which is on right wing. Azeez played predominantly on the right wing last season for Milwall. Nathan Broadhead, I think this is a big example of this. Nathan Broadhead signed from Ipswich Town, £7.5 million, excelled massively playing on the wing for Ipswich in the time he was at the club in League One, Championship and Premier League. Ever since then, he's been utilised in that central role for Wrexham, and we've not seen the best version of him at all. So is that a slight worry that Wrexham fans could have before, potentially splashing a club record fee on Azeez? Potentially. Phil Parkinson, of course, doesn't operate wingers in this Wrexham camp, and if we were to play Azeez in that wing-back role, I think there would be uproar. So overall, on these two transfer targets for Wrexham, of course, fairly similar in terms of their attacking output, their numbers last season in the Championship, awfully similar in terms of playing style, which of course is what Wrexham want. They'd be two very good players to potentially come into this Wrexham attacking midfield and take us to the next level. Overall, my thoughts are, I think we could get Mehmeti in for a fraction of the price that we would be paying for Femi Azeez, and I don't think there's an awful lot difference in between styles of play, and if anything, I do think Mehmeti would suit Wrexham's system more, just in terms of the fact that Mehmeti is used to playing in that central role like Josh Windass and like Ollie Rathbone's developed in his time at Wrexham. Lewis O'Brien's played there. We're looking at Anis Mehmeti. He has played there predominantly out his career for Ipswich Town, for Bristol City in the Championship, so he's comfortable, he knows this league inside out, but they're two very good players to be linked with though. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Would you prefer Mehmeti, or would you look to see us go all out and sign Femi Azeez? Talking on the final transfer target, and that is that of Pavel Sulc. Now, Pavel Sulc is a name that has been thrown around by a lot of different media outlets on social media. Wrexham Football Club are reportedly showing interest in Šulc, who currently plays for Lyon in League 1. Šulc has had a £35 million price tag be put on him by his club, which is ludicrous. That would smash Wrexham's transfer record fee by 3 times, and it would smash the Championship club record fee that any club has paid for a player in the second tier. And in all honesty, I don't think Wrexham stand a chance of signing this player because, one, he's absolutely incredible, nearly 20 goals and assists in League 1 last season. Juventus, Leeds United, Everton have all shown interest in the attacking midfielder, and then there's Wrexham in the Championship that are reportedly willing to put £35 million forward to sign this attacking midfielder. In all honesty, I don't think it's going to happen, but one thing that is slightly concerning me, not concerning me, but there just seems to be a different outlet every single day that is saying that Wrexham are interested, which makes me think there's a slight bit of interest and truth in this transfer rumour. Now, it could be an easy case of the agent contacting these media outlets saying, look, can you say that Wrexham are interested, because we're an easy club to get interactions from, an easy club that a lot of different clubs will be looking at this thinking, Wrexham are plotting an ambitious move, we best up our game, just drive that price tag up, potentially £5-10 million more. So contradicting what I've just said, why would they be using Wrexham as a club in terms of, you know, driving his price up when Juventus and Everton are interested in him? So if there's truth in it or not, we'll have to wait and see, but let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. As soon as I finish recording the end of that video, I go on social media and I see that Wrexham have agreed a £2 million fee with Premier League side Manchester City for the homecoming of wing-back Issa Kabore. So yeah, big bit of news for Wrexham. In terms of bringing wing-backs into the club, I think this is a really sensible bit of business. We saw what Kabore could do in a Wrexham shirt last year, 9 assists in, I think it was 38 games for him. Getting him back for £2 million as a backup and depth for Danny Imre, what a bit of business this is. That likely means Longman goes down to third choice, which I'm sure a lot of fans will be happy about because it's good depth down that right hand side. So it looks imminent now that Kabore is going to return to Wrexham. So let me know your thoughts on that in the comment section down below. So that is it for today's video. If you did enjoy, make sure to drop a like, make sure to get down there as well and click the red subscribe button. We're so close to hitting 29,000 subscribers. Keep up to date with this content by clicking the notification bell so you're notified every time a video does come your way on the channel. And until the next one, take care guys, up the Championship Reds.